Folks, welcome back to NewsOne Now, broadcasting live from the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. We're about 40-plus miles away from Little Rock, where history was made in that city some 60 years ago in September. And so what took place was that, again, 9 African-American kids were trying to go to school just to simply get an education, when whites in Arkansas said absolutely not. The governor of Arkansas, Orville Faubus, made it clear he was not going to allow that to happen. As a result, President Dwight Eisenhower was forced to send in federal troops to escort those 9 children to class. And of course, it shocked the nation to see this, to literally see federal troops escorting children into school. It was stunning. It was shocking. And of course, you see the video there. Yesterday, I actually, before I came here, I stopped by the visitor center there in Little Rock, Arkansas, which is a National Historic Site, and also dropped by the school as well. We have some of that video. Of course, Little Rock 9, they've been honored all across the world, but certainly in Arkansas as well. And so, like I said, that high school, if we can show some of the video, folks, of the actual what I shot yesterday, the school still is in operation. It still is in operation, and in fact, a multi-racial group of students who are there, 2,500 students, of course, filled that school as well. One of the folks who made history in those 3 days in September joins me. She is Elizabeth Eckford, and again, was one of the Little Rock 9. As you see, this is video yesterday that I shot there at the visitor center, and Elizabeth joins me right now. Elizabeth, how you doing?
Fine.
We're certainly glad to have you here.
Thank you.
It was very interesting for me. It was emotional as well to walk those grounds, to walk up those steps, and then to peer into the windows and to see black students, white students, Hispanic students, all in class together when it was a whole different scene some 60 years ago.
Yes. Then there was a lot of opposition that had been organized during the summer. Before that, there was no public opposition. But within the school, there was an organized group that followed us and attacked us. It was a very, very difficult year.
And when you think back, on those days in September, were you and others fearful?
Yes, yes. Each of us had a soldier guard who followed us several paces behind. They could see what was happening, but they were not in a position to intervene. I remember one occasion, we would make reports to the vice principals every day, and the soldier that was following me that day said he didn't see that. So the next day, when somebody body slammed me into a wall locker, which is part of the daily routine, I turned around and grabbed the person next to me, and I asked the soldier, "Did you see that?"
So you and the students, you literally had soldiers following you to class.
Yes, they didn't enter any class. They followed us in the hallways.
And so you're trying to go to school, and that's the thing I think that still is tough to grapple with. You're just trying to get education. You're just trying to go to school, and I tell people all the time to understand how deep Jim Crow and racism was in America, when that was such a fight to keep black children from getting an education.
Yes, the basis of racism, to put it simply, is that one group thinks that they're more entitled than another.
When you look at Central High School today, the fact that it's still in operation, When you look at the student body now, for me, it's bothersome to think of kids today who don't take school as seriously, knowing full well you had to have 11,000 troops to walk y'all into a school. Your thoughts about that?
Well, that was very significant. That was one of the 2 times in the whole country where an elected official had actually acted to enforce a court order regarding desegregation. I always refer to it as desegregation because we were never considered as other students.
When you look at education today, when you still see that essentially we have returned to segregated schools.
Yes.
What I explain to folks is that we're based upon neighborhoods, and what we're also seeing right here is video, folks. That is the monument that is on the Arkansas State Capitol grounds of the Little Rock Nine as well. That's the marker there when it was dedicated. And again, it is, if you get a chance to go Little Rock, definitely drop by to see that monument. Again, it's amazing how even though you don't see mobs of whites standing outside of schools, you still see efforts to have segregated schools.
Oh yes, oh yes. There are some situations where there are all white classrooms because I don't think that the white students go there for a diverse environment. Mm-hmm. They go there for the educational program that is available there. There was an article recently in the paper about trying to increase equity of opportunity in the schools. Central High has available more advanced placement classes than any other school in the district. Mm-hmm. And with that kind of reputation, it draws students to that school. But until the district announced that they were going to give more people an opportunity to get in those classes, most of those classes were all white.
And that's the thing that I think, again, when we begin to break down understand education, there's this attitude that, we're all on the same page. We're all getting the same education. When the reality is, when you look at whether you talk about advanced classes, whether you talk about having teachers with master's degrees and PhDs as opposed to others teaching black children with no certification, I mean, at the end of the day, we still have 2 separate school systems in America.
Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Except in the Little Rock district, I don't think you'll find non-certified teachers in any school.
Well, thank goodness, thank goodness. I mean, we certainly see that in other schools as well. Last question for you. What would you want a student today? How old were you when this was?
I was 15 going on 16.
What would you want a 15-year-old today to understand about that moment 60 years ago?
That was an effort to enact the promise of America. You know, that when they said that there were inalienable rights, they were talking about white property owners. The court said that segregation in and of itself increased a sense of inferiority among the people that it was inflicted upon. I still see that today. I still hear people talking about good hair being affected by the colors within us. And but I say to students that education is an opportunity for you to create opportunities in the future, and that you have to believe that you can achieve. You have to work hard to achieve. A lot of people, I think, don't realize their potential.
Well, absolutely. And I think a lot of folks have been denied the opportunity as well. And so, like I keep telling folks, you got to keep fighting, no matter what the cost. And then if folks oppose you, well, then you keep fighting again.
That's right. That's right.
Elizabeth, we certainly appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thank you for all you and others did 60 years ago.
Thank you.
All right, thanks so much.
Kickstart your day at 7 and get the news you need from the perspective you want. NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Every weekday morning at 7 on TV 1.